Hi, it's Liz from Lohas Canada. It is July the 1st, and I don't know what episode of podcast we're on, but this is a podcast about knitting, about sewing, and other crafty things that I'm doing. So it is Canada Day today. I am on the west coast of Canada, so I'm in a town called Parksville on Vancouver Island, and it's no parade or anything today. They're doing a virtual one, meaning they're showing last year's clips of the parade and fireworks and everything. So nothing's going on in town, and I've just been doing some baking. It's been really cool out here, and it's just not, we've had a couple days of sun, and so we have a canoe and we've been going on the canoe. It was my mom's birthday too, so I'll show you some of the bags that I made for her birthday. I've been using the embroidery machine for that. But we will first get into some knitting. So some knitting projects. I haven't finished any new since last podcast. So this is the My Secret crop top by Jessica Maed. And then this is my little black skirt. I think it's called My Little Black Skirt by Skeindeer. So I haven't done anything with this. This is wool, and then this one is a cotton nylon blend. So I haven't done anything with the wool one. I have a feeling because it's now getting a little bit hot and warm out, I might be putting this on the back burner till fall. But I wore this and it's really comfortable. So I talked about this in the last podcast. My sister saw me wearing it and she was wondering if I could knit her one. So I just started that project. So this is as far, I knit this one, I believe in a medium, and it works pretty well for me. The yarn is a bit thicker. The yarn will be, and all the project details will be in the Ravelry page down below. And I knit her a small because she is a bit smaller than me, though I think she has a longer torso. She doesn't want it a crop top either, so I'll have to just measure it on her when I get to a certain length to break for up here. So it's exactly the same color as the one on the mannequin and the same yarn. So I did buy two because I thought I was going to use up 2 balls for one shirt, but I only used up 1 ball. I think this is 200 grams though, so. And then my only other project that for knitting that I've been working on is trying to finish up this sock. So this is my last ball of sock yarn that I own, which is really exciting because then I can switch to, so I don't have any more wool sock balls left. And so this is my very last one. I've already knitted the first one. So this is a size medium, and it's just my standard go-to, doing it on the 9mm. So it's worked from the top down, and then I've just broken for did the little triangle at the back. So now I'm just decreasing for the foot. So I just have the foot to go. So I haven't been knitting this because I usually take socks on the go and I haven't been going too many places. And the places I have been going, I've been taking books just because wool is a bit too hot for me while I'm working outside or just hanging out or anything like that. So I will hopefully be done that in the next couple of weeks. Then I will start doing the sock research for summer socks. Definitely I've been going to the gym more, so I really want to start knitting more so I can wear them for gym socks. So that's all my finished projects for knitting. Now, I don't know if you are in any of the de-stash groups. If you go on Facebook, there's some like Canadian yarn de-stash groups. There's a whole bunch of different ones. And unfortunately, because of the situation we're in, some of the yarn shops are closing down and they're just selling out their inventory, which is pretty sad. So when one of the de-stash groups, this lady posted, it's Anasa, and they are featuring a large selection of alpaca, camel, sheep, merino, and cotton wool directly from Russia. So they are in Kelowna. But I don't know when you're watching this video, so they might have already been closed. But if you go to the de-stash groups, then people from all across Canada, and I'm sure there's ones in the States and other parts of the world as well that are closing down, or people are just getting rid of it to try to free up some space. So they had a sale on, and I bought a lot of cotton. So we're gonna get right into it. And I don't know how many balls I bought, but I bought a lot. So these are all from Russian, so there's like no way I'm gonna pronounce any of these. These ones are all, I think they're almost all 100% cotton. I will go through each one though. But this is lovely brown shade. And so with the 100% cotton ones, I do want to make some more of these tops. I have a book that shows like different styling techniques, like different ways you can do different designs. So I want to try different designs. So that's my thinking to buying all these different types of cotton, because I do want to make more tops, maybe a halter one, maybe a cardigan eventually, but I can hold it or use it, just adjust the pattern and do a little swatch. I think, oh no, this one does look a bit thicker. So I got black, because you can never have too much black in my life. So, yeah. And these ones are 100% cotton, I'm guessing, too. It doesn't, oh yeah, 100% cotton. I think with this color always shows up different in a picture than it does, or maybe it's just my device, because I swear I never think that this is the color that it's going to be. Now I've bought a couple different colors like this. I go for more like earth tones, neutral colors, and this is definitely a fluorescent blue. But I also might have maybe thought of it and I could hold it like this skirt. I held it with this kind of this blue, but I also held it with the black like sock weight. So it produced that nice, more muted tone, which is more my style, which I could do it with this, or maybe in my time of thinking, because I also, you know what, I think what happened was my thinking process. They also had this really nice purple, and that is usually not my color, but it's really gorgeous, and I was thinking this might be the time where I can start doing some color work, like start actually practicing on something like this, so it's not a huge amount of yarn that I'm going through, and it's not a huge project, and it's not super scary, that I can just add a bit of color work into it just to keep on trying to do that. So these are all cotton. So I got 3 balls of this purple, looks like 3 balls of the black, and 3 balls of the blue. Yeah, unless I dropped a ball somewhere. So I don't, oh, here we go. It's 464 yards. Yeah, 464 yards for this one. So pretty decent amount. And then the black one is 273 yards. So yeah, just depending on the width. Purple one is the 400 as well, 400 yards. So where this one, the gray one, I think is more like a fingering, still 464 yards. All right, and I am going to, this wool is, so this is what the alpaca, oh, I did buy some other stuff. Alpaca and merino wool, 50-50. And these ones are 164 yards, and it's so soft and squishy. So I got 3 of those. Oh, I lied. I got 4 of these black ones. All right, and this is the gray and the merino and wool combo, or alpaca and merino. So it's coming a bit darker up on screen. So I got 4 of these ones. Oh, maybe I got 5. 5 of these ones, 3 of these squishy ones, and see. Looks like 3 of these ones. And that's the same as the alpaca and merino. So these are super nice and squishy. Definitely was, I think in my head, was thinking I'm going to make a cardigan with these because they're just so nice. And then, so maybe try to do color work with the cotton and then in the full time do color work with these ones. So they were pretty inexpensive for what they were. And nice that I could try to help out a business and get some wool from that too. And nice that they're on sales. So that's quite a bit of wool that I have to go through, considering just even doing that top. It does take me a while, especially now that it's nice outside, and when it's nice outside I turn more to reading outside. So we shall see how this goes. But we will get into some sewing because the thrift store I showed last time that they are back and opening up. They are doing the whole social distancing and time limits and such. But I haven't gone there since that first time, and so I went the other day, and they just have the most amazing amount of patterns that were actually in my size. They had some that were actually way too big for me, like 18 to 20, which would be like a, I don't know, extra large upwards, which is too bad because they were all this beautiful, like retro, vintage type of patterns that it would just be a lot to size down. So I didn't get any of those, but I'll show you some of the projects that I am working on. So you saw this one in a couple of podcasts ago, and it is the cushion. So this is my scrap pile cushion. So all my scraps I put into here, and maybe one day if I ever run out of material, which I probably won't, I can pull from them and quilt them all together or something in little pieces. But some of these are just like little fringe strips, so I wouldn't be able to do with anything in there, and they're not really quilting size, a lot of the stuff in here. So this, though, I measured it, it's 18 inches by 18 inches, and it is heavy. It is 5 pounds. So I could probably fit maybe another, depending on how much work I'm doing this week, maybe another couple weeks worth if I really squish it down, but it is quite heavy. It is not light and fluffy at all. It is really a stable, sturdy cushion, and you can kind of feel, because like they're just strips, you know, of ends and just little different things, you can actually feel that there's like little scrap bits in here. So it is not the big fluffy cushion. What I was also thinking when I'm finished, I will sew up. I just have a little hole up here, sew this up, and then I'll actually make a covering with a zipper in it, because I don't think it'd be really good to try to wash this, and pillows do need to get washed, you know, once in a while, and I wouldn't want to really, you know, could you imagine if it came apart and you just had thousands of scraps just floating in your washing machine or dryer or whatever. So I don't think that's really the best way to use it. And like, you wouldn't be able to, this might take a while to dry. Like if you have 5 pounds in the dryer, that, you know, it would wreck your belt in your dryer. So you just have to wash it, and that's not great for the tumbler as well. And then just like have it, you know, on a drying rack. So I will definitely be making a cover for that. I do have an eco-friendly business. I am figuring out what I'm doing in the next couple of weeks and actually doing stuff about it. And I just started making, well, I'm almost finished these. These are for, you put your cutlery in if you're having a picnic or anything like that. So I just have to put the snaps on, and then that will be done. I usually add 2 snaps, so you can use it for here or up here, just in case you have some sort of odd shaped item. So that I made these in a small size and then a large size as well. So those are almost done. I have also finished doing another stack of period pads. Now, I just was going off another design. I didn't take someone's design, but I was just trying to figure out my own design from it. But I'm gonna have to redo it. The size in the middle, the pad in the middle was too big for the outer pad, and so it whirls over, so that's not obviously the look that I'm going for. It just doesn't look super neat. I also was just trying out how to do it this way. So in the last period pads that I had, the clasp here was more like the shape. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna pick up. There we go. It was more of a rectangle shape, so then it had more surface area, and I think I'm gonna go back to that design for the period pad, just because it's a little bit flimsy. I'm sure it'll hold up over time, but I think for the aesthetic reasons and the way to sew it, I mean, I could do a neater job, but I think I might go back to that design. So I'm gonna do another batch of smaller period pads, because these ones only are about an inch or two smaller than the medium ones. So I want to try to do more like a liner, and so it's just going to be a little bit more fiddling again, and then seeing how these ones hold up, because they do have the wick away material on some of them and some of them not. So it's just going to be figuring those out. So another design that I've been playing with, and I did not get the pattern right, and then I just kind of put it aside, as I was thinking, because it's my mom's birthday earlier this week, that I wanted to do some sort of envelope type thing, reusable envelope. So I did not get the pattern right, because as you can see, it is not straight. But this was my very first attempt, so, and it's not the size that I want, so I'm gonna have to figure out the size of a greeting card. And then so I just also hand stitched it on this side and then put the bottom clasp, and then I was doing a whole bunch of the clasps for the period pads and I forgot to put the top clasp on, and for some reason this didn't end up getting straight either, so I didn't end up giving it to her, because I do want to make another one of these and maybe do, this is just scrap fabric that I have. I think it's from a tablecloth that got stained, but I do want to make a bigger size, more accurate size, and then it'd be great if I can do it in a bigger size and then have like embroidery on it, like just a generic thing like happy birthday or congratulations, so you can start re-gifting these types of envelopes that you usually throw away, and or that come with cards, because it is nice to get an artistic card that you made, or that you've gotten from somebody locally, or you know, an artist that you know, and have just this really nice reusable thing you can give as a gift as well. Or like if you're just planning to give cash or something in a nice card, you could do that, have it on there, congratulations or whatever, and then give it to them as a gift, and they could possibly reuse it. So I haven't sewn any garments this week. I've been kind of trying to finish up these other projects so then I can be fully done them before I start a brand new project, because I do have some of those other tops that I've made previous weeks that I've redrafted the pattern and that I want to end up doing those patterns, but I've just been trying to finish up all these other ones. So I'm going to show you the corset. So the corset, I'm not going to put it on because I want to show you the inside. So if you've seen a couple weeks ago, I did the corset. I got some feedback. So these were touching on me, the back pieces here. And they were saying that if you wanted, you could shave off a couple millimeters from each one if you don't want it close. And also I took a couple millimeters off one of these panels. I forget which one. I'm gonna have to look it up. And so I did that, but I took too much off. So actually there is too much of a gap for me. For my preference, I can put a modesty panel in the back, but this is my first draft of the corset, right? And this is canvas material. It's one layer, so I wanted to try to understand this construction and fit, and that's what this was about, and actually try to get some of my stitching a little bit better. So I put in a zipper at the front because I only have one or two of those bone placings, so I want to obviously use it for my final project. Probably have to order a couple more. So the next one I'm going to make is with a different material, which will be like my second mock-up, and we'll see if I use the bone casing in the front to close it. I guess it's a bone, not a bone. It's like a closure in the front. Anyhow, so with this, I was like, okay, I need to finish and figure out how to do these seams for the corset before I move on to my second corset. So what I've been doing is to finish this one off so it could be possibly wearable, is I've never done felling stitches before and trying to figure out what I need to do. So if you look, these are horrible. So what I did is I didn't have enough space on one side, so you have the two pieces that you join, and one side you trim down, and then the other side you curve over. So then that encases that, and your needle's going through that. So there shouldn't be anything sticking out. So my stitching, when they were put together, was uneven. So some of it, like if you can see here, so some of it is poking through, and just because I didn't have enough on one side to pull it over and turn it under. So this is just the inside. It's my practice corset, so I just wanted to figure that out. In the pattern, it's also working with 2 layers, so all this would have been in the inside, but this canvas is really fraying, and depending on what type of material, like linen, you're going to want to fell it as well, because it's just so it unravels quite a bit. So there's that. And then I was also thinking, I guess depending on how much, I mean, when they first did corsets and stuff, they didn't have sergers. You could also, if you're looking for a quick way, is to serge it, but that might have too much bulk on it as well. You might have to take down the amount that you can serge it. So that might be another thing, but I think felling lies it really flat. And I did try to improve my felling stitches. So it's also canvas, so I think it shows up really well on the other side. So that was my one side, and that did not do really well. And then the other side, I did try to press it and everything, and it's canvas. It just doesn't, I think I'd have to starch it a bit too, just because it's unraveling so much. So here's my second side, and you can see here, I haven't finished this. So here is the one side, and then the other side here, and then I'm just hand sewing it. I don't have the skills quite yet to do it by machine. I could probably do it very, very slow by machine. That might be a possibility. I just have I notice even with hand stitching it, I have to be a little bit cautious, especially when it goes over the areas that curve up quite a bit. So around here, and also I think that's the only real place, and at the back it kind of curves. So like here you can see I didn't stretch this far enough over, so it should have actually, so it's creating a little bit, I don't know if you can see that little bit of a lip there. So I know with hand stitching you do get much more control. So once I do that, first I thought I could just do the edges, like the top pieces and the bottom pieces, and be done with it, but I actually do want to learn how to fell, so I stopped doing it. This part, I was going to do it, but I realized I need to do the inside first. So then it's just a strip and a half, or 1.5 inches that I cut of the same material, and then once all the inside is done, then I'll go around and hand stitch this, do it on the bottom as well, and then try it on again. The fitting isn't going to be as well as this next one I'm doing, but that is the process so far. I also don't know, I put in a zipper, so I think maybe I should have taken this down so it encases the zipper as well. Might have been smart, and I just might have to pick that out. See how the zipper, maybe I'll do that because it just started. It only has a couple stitches in, and it really should be in case the zipper can stay. So we will see what will happen with that. I will keep you posted, and I will be doing like a final corset video once I do maybe like my final corset, then I can show you all the progress I made. So the material I'm going to use for the next corset is a hemp and cotton, I believe. So it's really lightweight. It's a denim type look, but definitely not the thickness of the denim. So I don't know if this will pick up super well, but yeah, it's pretty light and drapey. Definitely not like I could make a shirt out of this and it would be fine. It's not that stiff denim. So I think I'll have to iron it out. I was thinking I'm also going to do the front, like do to the front and the back with this material for the corset and see how this goes. I don't think it really has stretch. I'll have to check and see if it does have any stretch in the where I bought it from. So, but that was my next one, because I think like this corset I did make, it's just out of canvas, and it's totally, once it's actually like put together and I do have a modesty panel, like it's totally wearable. So I was thinking if I'm going to do 2 layers and I'm putting all this effort in, even though it might not be perfect, I can still then wear this out, and then if depending on how it all goes. So those are the projects that I've been working on, and so I'm just going to show you my thrift store haul. So I did find this armhole curved ruler. It's called a fashion ruler. So I do find some pretty amazing items at the thrift store, and just at this one thrift store. I mean, other thrift stores obviously have items, and I just never find stuff as good at this one thrift store. So they also had, and it just depends what people are giving away, right? So this thrift store is really great for the community. It's a local one, so it doesn't go, you know, internationally or to headquarters and they don't know what's happening with it. Somebody gave a whole bunch of zippers. So different sizes, and they're perfectly new. Some of them have tags on them, so that's pretty insane that somebody would give away zippers. But we also do have a lot of elderly people here, so that could be another factor. So I don't know what this is, and maybe it's to, you know, wind up your yarn, or I don't know. So I'm not too sure, because I was like, oh, maybe I hold it this way and wind up the yarn that way. I don't know, maybe it's for scraps. Anyway, it was $1, so I'm just going to try to wind it up with some yarn and see how it goes. So I also do get sewing scissors from there, and I just go get them sharpened at the sharpening place. It's like $8 to $12 depending on where it is. The pinking shears though, where I got it sharpened, my other scissors sharpened before, they didn't do pinking shears, so I would have to find a different place. So I do have some other pinking shears, but they're not sharp, and I'm not going to sharpen and file them all by hand. So I found some of these. These are Singer pinking shears for $3. And I don't know what this one is. I think it might also be, it has claws on it. But it does have teeth on it, so a little edging teeth, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's going to show up on camera, but I'm not 100% sure what they are. But for $2 I thought they'd be fun to play with, to figure out, maybe like use these for silk or something if I'm not going to serge them, which it is semi hard to do with silk. So I did grab for $5. These are all cotton thread. And I do have a lot of cotton thread as well, but I do have limited colors because in my business I've been sticking to a certain color palette. So when I was making that orange dress, I did not have the exact orange or the exact blue. So I think just a $5, you know, $5 bag of different ones will help me in that journey of making my own wardrobe. Alright, so if you are ready, I'm going to show you a bunch of patterns, and then I also have to figure out where I'm going to put all these patterns, because I do seem to be accumulating patterns, but they are all very different, and I do need to sort them out so that I only go into the store looking for specific style or something I'm going to be learning, and not that I can just hack from a different pattern. These patterns are also only 25 cents at the thrift store, so it's not the end of the world, and I can always redonate them. But that being said, you know, should also save my money. Alright, so this is a Vogue pattern, 7354. I have wanted to make one of these Japanese patterns bags, like the crossover bag, so I have wanted to, one of these, make one of those. I think it'd be really interesting to try to make it maybe with 2 different fabrics. It is actually really easy. I have seen it online and I've watched a couple of videos and I'm like, that's pretty easy, but it's really nice to have a pattern. So this one is a Simplicity 8019. It's another bag pattern. What I was thinking is, because I did buy some cork a long time ago, that I do want to make a bag and use the accent with cork. So I was thinking something a little bit more fashionable than what this is, but even like something like that with a cork on top, or a little bag or something. So it always helps with a pattern. So this is Simplicity 2154. It's a 1960s retro. I just really like the shape of the cardigan, and maybe it does have padding in it, but I think getting really different shapes and seeing how they set it in and how it looks. So I think it'll be interesting to try and do a different shape from a different era and see what I learn. Now this one is Butterick 5623, and it's a medium, and it's really hard to tell by if they don't have an actual person on it. I mean, this looks like it's all made with fleece, but I think it probably would be really cute if it was made out of bamboo or something. They also say like it could be made with cotton knits, jersey, double knits, wool, and flannel, and poplin. But I think now, I mean, this is a pretty old looking pattern from the, no, it doesn't say, that it could be made with something else. I don't know. It's a nice standard pattern. And this one is Berta 3790. And these are the pants, the Pantalon. And the reason why I bought this, it's in German. Oh. The reason why I bought it, so it is a pant, and they do have, I think we call them culottes now. So I bought the Helen's Closet culotte pattern, and it, for me, for my personal style, the pants are much too wide, like on the legs. So I wanted to compare it, because this is like a type of culotte, but maybe not as big. So I wanted to compare it and see maybe how I can hack them a bit smaller in the leg. And also I'm gonna have to redo it in a drapier fabric to see if I can also do the waist as well. This is Lisette B6295. This is for some workout gear. I have been doing a lot more gym stuff, a lot more outdoorsy things. So I think getting nice, it has the, I can do the like bra straps and the pullover bras and all that stuff. So also has little pockets, which I really like as well. So that is something I do want to learn how to make my own clothes, especially for the pants. So right now I'm just wearing like really old shorts that that I need to get a couple more of, just because I've been going quite a bit, and just like washing them every time is quite annoying if you don't have a lot. It's just a lot to get on top of. This one is a Vogue pattern V8909. Look how cute these pants are. Like, they're just super cute. You can, you know, do them without the ribbing stuff at the bottom. You could just do it a straight leg pant. It's 2013. Isn't that so cute? I mean, everything does come back. I'm probably not super crazy about the elastic waistband, but I think these are all like, you can just hack patterns, right? Kiwi, so it's K2325. So this is just nightwear. And the reason I bought this is because I wasn't super happy with the last nightgown that I made. It was still a bit too big, so I'd like to try to get, I don't like the length of this. I would like to try to lengthen it. And also you get to try to do panties too. They're included. So I want to see, I have Ellie and Max panties that I made. I forget what they're called, but they're from Ellie and Max. So I would like to see how this differs. And I also want to see, like, this dress looks like just has a whole bunch of, let's see if it'll focus. This dress right here has a whole bunch of different panels. So I would like to see if I can like make it at least below my knee. And then also Kiwi K3167, and that's just for a bra and panty set. So it's a camisole and panties. So you need a fabric at least a 50% stretch. So I thought that would be cute to try out. Here is McCall's M6083. And they're just rompers. So this is this. So these are just standard patterns that are just a romper. If you look back on the line drawings, it shows, I think, a lot of better styles than a lot of times when I look at these like prints. I can't get behind the print, but I need to see the line drawings and I'm like, okay, just doing something really standard would be really cute. Like, that's just my style. Vogue pattern 8145. Look how cute is this? Mrs. Cape. Let's see if there's no, I don't see a date on this. So just a really cute standard cape. How cute. The line drawing is not very good. It literally just has like the cape closed or the back of it. So A and B just look the same except B is longer. So, but maybe that's all it is. I don't know. I'll have to dive into that another time. Butterick B6090. And this is, look at this. This is just a classic dress. So, and I do like something that it hits at the hips and then goes down rather than the baby doll where it hits underneath the bust and goes down. I'm more comfortable. This is more my style where it hits at the hips. You can, you know, tailor the hips, of course, and figure that out. But I think it was just a really classic shape. I mean, I don't even have to do the top like that. I could switch out the top, but just get the rest going and just hack two different patterns together, basically, right? That's the whole purpose of learning these things. Butterick B4131. Now, no one that I know right now is getting married and all that, but look at these shapes. Alright, so looking at the shapes in the middle, they're more like princess, where it goes all the way up, all the way down, and then it has the train at the bottom, which could definitely be cute for just hacking like one of those patterns or like mix and matching them, right? Like not as a wedding dress, like I'm talking about other fabric here. So just having that structure, that shape, could like hack one of these, then also with like a corset pattern or a stay pattern, and then also like the bottom part as well. And on one of the line drawings, it does have like a train at the back as well, so you could also make that shorter and that would be really cute. So for 25 cents, yay! I'm gonna do this one first. Simplicity 7008, and it is beachwear. Well, not today. Today is not beachwear day. Today is overcast here, but look at these cute patterns, like really simple, really cute, really standard. It's a 1975 pattern, and I do have another pattern, but it's for a one piece, so I would like to try to make something like, maybe like that. For some reason I mean, it does have the piece of fabric that goes across, look kind of like a tube top, and then the neck of the tie. For some reason with my body shape, it always kind of sags a bit. Not because like they aren't perky, it's just because of the shape of it, so maybe I could try to hack that. But I thought that was very cute, and then just a little like tie thing to go over it would be nice once it starts getting more into July and August. Alright, this is a lot of patterns for me, so it's going to take me a while to get through all these, but I think, and trying to find the fabric, like the correct fabric for it. So I don't do a million clothes a month, so it's just going to take some time to figure out what exactly it's going to be, and that I actually wanted in my wardrobe. So this is Simplicity 4063. It is not a clothing pattern. Let's see. It's a dragon. And I don't think I share this. I do have a dragon tattoo when I got it when I was like 19. It's more of a tribal one on my ankle. But I've loved dragons for so long. I used to have all these dragon figurines, and I wanted a dragon tattoo when I was like 14 or 15, and I had this rule with myself that I wouldn't get a tattoo unless I loved it for at least 3 or 4 years, and if I still liked the tattoo, then I would get it. So it looks super intimidating doing this as like a stuffed animal, but the line drawings are super intimidating as well because they look super intricate and detailed. But I think that would be so interesting for like a long-term project to do, or maybe you just have to be like really precise at sewing, and you know, it's just a matter of sewing it together and stuffing it. So I don't know, it looks very intimidating. But I think it would be fun. I don't love his dragons as much as I used to. I used to have lots of dragon figurines and different dragon memorabilia. I don't have any anymore. I ended up switching a bit to fairies, and then I also have a fairy tattoo, but I haven't gone into any of those so in quite some time. So I think dragons are coming back into my life, and I'll be making a stuffed animal well into the future. Oh yeah, so it was my mom's birthday, and she wanted some cream and some other stuff, so I ended up making some bags. So I used the embroidery machine. I'm still learning how to use it. They have presets on there for the alphabet, so I've been doing that, and then trying to figure out how to center it onto the fabric correctly, and also line everything up, and then just how to change the text, the words, how to center it properly, just trying to really get all the basics. So I think the next couple of birthdays of people, I'm going to start making more and more bags and getting more and more practice so that I can find something standard that I would continuously want to make. So these bags weren't lined, they just had the outer shell, and then I hemmed or serged it. The size for these ones, I did a French hem so that they're fully encased. I didn't do any of the cut of the boxing like I did with my dad's. I just left them a straight up and down, and then you can reuse them for your happy birthday stuff. So what I was thinking is I'll continuously make them for all my siblings for gifts, and then we can just continuously exchange them so they stay within your own family. They are nice gifts and stuff to be just putting everything, not having to buy like an extra bag to put all the stuff in if you choose to wrap it. If you don't, not a big deal. You just put it in a happy birthday bag. So that's a lot of stuff. And the next couple of weeks I will be figuring out where to sell the eco-friendly products and how I'm going to do that and what I will be focusing on to sell. So I'll give you some more information when that happens. With all the different changes happening, I just need to figure out what I'm going to be doing with them. So, and we do all need eco-friendly products in our lives, because I just always continue to think of, oh, if I had this, I can replace even something, you know, like an envelope that that's not a huge impact, but over time and so many people, it's kind of like it does add up that we're creating this waste. You know, it'd be different if it's a card because it is something that is artistic, but something that is just a single use or that doesn't need to be constantly used all the time. I think there's lots of different ways that we can figure out how to use it, figure out better material that we can use, and then try to incorporate it in the stuff we do, either DIY or maybe that you're buying or that you're selling or that you're incorporating into your life. So I will chat with you later and keep on creating. Bye!